We're down to shield here, but it really doesn't matter because this is the definition of a wall, a beautiful green wall right here. See if we can land a big boom moment. What do you think it's gonna be, Charlie? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like a cool Rajesh Giri, thank you for the support. For today's video, we got everybody's favorite special little guest, Charlie, making an appearance for the video. He would not leave me alone. Really wanted to get into this video, so here he is. And we are taking a look at a pretty spicy pick. It is my favorite of the Swords of Justice, and that is Virizion. Now, Virizion is a pretty interesting pick for the Open Ultra League. It does have some very fast hitting charge moves. However, it suffers from a very underwhelming fast move in Quick Attack. Now, because of its typing, it does have a lot of weaknesses, and the things that it tends to resist aren't actually that prevalent in the Open Ultra League meta. So it is a sort of risky pick. It is spicy, but it does wall Swampert, and that is pretty much its claim to fame in this meta. Now, looking at the team I've put together here, we are going with a Snorlax lead. I want to test that out. Seems like it has some pretty neutral matchups overall. We got Articuno and Virizion in the back, so we're gonna see how this performs, how it looks overall. And let me just tell you right now, I did try making teams around this Pokemon, and I started at 0-5. The next set I went 1-4. I dropped all the way down to 2900, but I really wanted to make it work, and I ended up having 3 positive sets after. Did find a team that somewhat works with it. Don't know if it's the best team, don't know if I recommend it overall, but I do really like this Pokemon, and I thought I'd give you guys this video. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so jumping into the first battle here against Beirusama. And guys, let me just say the most painful part about powering up Virizion was the fact that I had to waste so much candy, and no one does these raids. So please, let's do some more Virizion raids in the future. Here you can see we have a horrible lead in Obstagoon, so I switch out into Virizion. Not sure if that's the safe switch on this team, but thought I'd test it out. We get met by Cresselia here, which is a pretty rough matchup. But I do have a big energy lead, so I'm going to spam the Leaf Blades here. And what I'm noticing is that the opponent actually isn't shielding, and I get to the 3rd Leaf Blade here before they throw a move. So once they let this go, I decide, you know what, maybe I could take back switch here and put the Obstagoon onto my Articuno. So I do shield this up, and I go for the Leaf Blade here. And I was totally expecting the opponent to shield, but they let it go through. And now I try to farm down, and I just miss doing it. So I'm going to have to burn a 2nd shield if I want to take switch. I decide to do it, and I farm down now. Let's see what he comes back in with. He comes in with the Obstagoon. So I'm going to go for the bait here, going for the Leaf Blade, and we are going to get the shield from the Obstagoon. So at this point, the opponent might be thinking maybe I have Stone Edge, maybe I'm not running close combat. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to survive this Night Slash for sure. Let's just go for the close combat here, see if we can land a big boom moment. What do you think it's going to be, Charlie? Boom! There it is. Yes, there it is. Close combat. Opponent just leaves the battle. Swampert wants no piece of this Virizion. We take that game. YMegaSnorlax there. That was a sweep by Virizion there. That was a complete sweep. Beat all 3 Pokemon on its own. So if there was ever a battle to showcase the strength of Virizion, it was right there in that last one. In this next matchup, we got another Obstagoon lead, which of course is really bad. This time you can see I actually switch into the Articuno instead. So testing out both these Pokemon as safe switches here with this line. And again, we get met by another Cresselia. So I'm going to go for the Icy Wind here. And this is a pretty good matchup for Articuno, but of course it does require using a shield. And I would like to avoid the matchup of Obstagoon onto Snorlax if possible. So I'm going to try and win switch here. Icy Wind going to come through. And the Cresselia lets that go through. At this point, we could pretty much farm down, take a couple of moves here, but it's totally fine. And we'll have some Icy Winds ready for the Obstagoon, but they actually switch out instead of getting farmed down. So aggressive swap there. I should be able to survive this, so I'm not going to burn a shield, of course. Don't want to go down too. And we do survive by the skin of our teeth. Going to get off this Icy Wind here, and this is going to debuff the attack on this Obstagoon, and it does get the shield as well, so that's really good. Now I switch out myself somewhat aggressively into Virizion here. And of course, unless they're running Gunk Shot, nothing really is going to hurt. So I'm going to spam the Leaf Blades here. Of course, the close combat would KO, but they don't shield. And we're probably going to win this game just going straight Leaf Blade at this point. I don't have to debuff myself. We are sort of outpacing the opponent at this point. The one thing about Quick Attack is although it is very weak, it is relatively quick, so it does somewhat live up to the name. It's not like Dragon Breath or anything, but it's a decent move. And the Cresselia comes back in. We're able to farm down with Quick Attack, which is absolutely insane. Gengar comes in. You could see I clicked the close combat. I tried clicking the Leaf Blade after, but it had already registered, so this is doing nothing, but it really doesn't matter because we have Snorlax in the back. So Snorlax going to wall here unless Gengar has Focus Blast. I'm going to take a big chance here. It's only a Shadow Ball, so at this point I know that they don't have Focus Blast and they actually choose to back out of that match. So we take that game. Off to a 2-0 start here. Catcha won here in the next matchup, and we're leading Snorlax into Perrserker. So this is actually a team that I've been seeing a lot of people running lately, and basically consists of Perrserker in the lead with Shadow, Swampert, and Poliwrath. Very interesting team. I'd like to know who created that actually, because I haven't seen it a lot. But you can see I take the close combat, they bring in Swampert, here comes the Virizion. This is Wall City right here. Virizion does not care about Swampert's life, and the Hydro Cannon comes through, not doing any damage. The only way you could lose this match really is if they have Sludge Wave, and still they'd have to land a couple of charge moves. So Leaf Blade overkill right there, knocks out the Swampert. Perrserker comes back in. I'm actually going to go for the close combat here, and let's see if they're going to choose to shield here. Will this catch them off guard? Nope, they do choose to shield. At this point, I was hoping I could get to a second one, so let's see how this goes. They're going to throw a move here. Now, if this is foul play, it actually should not KO despite being debuffed. You could see there we are able to get to this close combat without having to use a shield. So let's see if they want to burn both of them, and turns out they do. So now we have a 2 shield advantage. Actually let myself get farmed down there. Bring in the Snorlax here, and I go for the superpower immediately. And this is a risky play because they could have caught this. At the time, I didn't know what their third Pokemon was. Fortunately for me, they did not catch it, and they bring in the Poliwrath. Now, one thing I should mention is this particular team, I would recommend running Hurricane for Articuno if you're running this line. I think this is the one time where Hurricane is actually a lot better and probably necessary because this team does struggle quite a bit to Escavalier in particular. So Hurricane would really come clutch, but this match against Poliwrath really is no issue at all. We're going to win this in pretty much every single situation. So just Icy Wind here. I don't have Hurricane obviously, but you could see going straight Icy Wind is going to win this game. As long as we have one shield, that's all it takes to win with Icy Wind. And they're going to throw another move, but it doesn't really matter at this point. The game is over. Dynamic Punch comes through. We farmed off Ice Shard. Take that game. We are off to a 3-0 start here, which is pretty impressive. sanmasanEX here in the next match. And this is pretty much a replay of the previous team. So it was kind of weird. I faced 2 Obstagoons, then I faced 2 Perrserkers. This one's the same team as the last one, so I'm going to play it the exact same way. Basically, I'm going to take the close combat here the first time. Maybe they go for the foul play, but they do go close combat. Then they're forced to switch basically. Here comes Shadow Swampert again, and here comes the Virizion, and it is going to absolutely wall this Swampert. Going to take everything it throws. Hydro Cannon comes through, not doing anything. Leaf Blade is going to KO, so I kind of wished I over-farmed a little bit here actually, but I had clicked the move. But to my surprise, they actually chose to shield, which isn't really going to help them unless they have Sludge Wave, but there's no way this is a Sludge Wave, so I let it go through. And now I'm going to try over-farming a little bit. You can see there's a bit of lag, so I don't want to take any chances because the next Hydro Cannon would get me very close to getting knocked out. So I just throw the Leaf Blade here. It's going to KO the Swampert. And now let's see if they come back in with the Perrserker. I'm expecting the Poliwrath, so there's no real reason for them to come with Poliwrath, right? At this point, I should have realized that they did have Poliwrath and probably considered switching out to save this Virizion, but didn't do it. And you end up getting the second shield, at least that's really good. And right here, this is where I make a mistake. Like last game, I throw immediately, and this time they catch it. So very poor play on my part. I have 2 shields. There's no real reason for me to throw right away in case they do make this switch. And I'm forced to over-farm a little bit, switch onto Articuno. But now our switch timers are desynced quite a bit. So despite having 2 shields, this isn't the easiest situation, especially because that Perrserker has a lot of energy. So gonna throw the Ice Wind here. Obviously, this is the part where the game where you really wish you had Hurricane, because it would make this matchup a lot easier. But because we don't, we're forced to go straight Icy Wind here. Dynamic Punch comes through. And this Poliwrath is actually probably going to over-farm and then switch out like they do into Perrserker. I should be able to survive this if it's a foul play, so I let it go through. And we do survive. That's just knowing the Articuno matchups there. Get off this Icy Wind. And at this point, I need to realize that I've debuffed this once. Obviously close combat will still KO. I didn't click the move there. Huge mistake. That's another mistake in this match. I let them get off this move. I wouldn't have to burn that shield if I threw the superpower immediately. Now they just debuffed themselves with close combat. Why am I going for the superpower? Body slam should be enough to KO after that debuff to themselves. And look at this, because of that, they have 2 moves ready. I'm going to shield up this Ice Punch. Because I went for the superpower, didn't get enough for the body slam. We are going to lose this game. And I debuffed myself with superpower as well. So I just played that game so poorly. And yeah, it was really bad. As you see, it switched to daytime there. That's how you know I'm not thinking properly, because I'm doing battles during the day. I'm usually playing at night. Either way, next matchup here, Cresselia into Snorlax. This is a pretty good matchup for Snorlax, kind of a lead that you don't mind seeing. However, it could get a little tricky if they have Future Sight, and in this case, they do. So I'm going to go for the Body Slams here. Of course, it's pretty much the only move I can go in this situation. I've thought about switching out Superpower for a different move, but I think it's pretty good for the Steel types. And in general, it seems like Superpower might be the preferred moveset, but I might test it out a different move maybe. Either way, as you can see here, I do shield up this Future Sight because it was looking like I might end up losing this. And we're going to go for the Body Slam here. So this is going to KO the Cresselia. Now I might have survived that Future Sight, but if they chose to shield after, I could have been in a tricky spot. I just wanted to make sure I kept alignment here. So just wanted to win switch. Giratina comes in. Now when they bring in Giratina into Snorlax, kind of had me wondering what the heck do they have in the back that does not want to see Snorlax your Gengar? Like it was really weird. But you can see I'm just going to spam the body slams here. Don't want to give up switch now, obviously, because Virizion would get absolutely destroyed by Giratina. So I need to make sure that my Articuno is aligned to this. And they do throw their energy, which is really good. Now Articuno comes in, they switch on to Registeel. So here comes Virizion, and this is a good matchup, of course, but it is very bait dependent, and the close combat is going to debuff me. Called the first Focus Blast here. And now I'm building up for 2 close combats. Just gonna go for the first one. If you get the Leaf Blade and they call the bait, it's really detrimental. So you can see I was gonna go for the Leaf Blade that time, but he beat me to the move. So at this point I shield. Now I realize I could probably get to 2 close combats, so there's no point to really bait. And if I do go for Leaf Blade, I'm not sure I'll be able to get to 2 close combats after that. So I decided to just go for the safe play here. Back-to-back close combat. Unfortunately, this actually does not KO. So because they had a shield advantage, they're going to be able to win this particular matchup against me. And now it's going to come down to Articuno here. I know that Giratina is very low. I'm hoping this Icy Wind will actually KO the Registeel, because that will pretty much cement this victory for me. But as you could see, the Registeel survives. It's going to get off this Flash Cannon here, and that's going to put me in a pretty low health range. They switch out into Giratina. I should be able to get to the Icy Wind. I will survive this Dragon Claw for sure, as long as they don't have 2 ready. And it looks like they do not. The game timer is coming up as well, so I need this to KO now, because if it does, I'll be able to win this game for sure. There goes the Giratina. Registeel comes in. I would be able to farm down before the timer anyways, but we're going to win that game by timeout. So good first set. We go 4-1. Yukinosuke here in the next set. And this is Snorlax into Shadow Machamp. So a lot of pretty bad leads here so far. And I safe switch into Virizion here. And they're going to stay in. They're going to throw a move. Nothing should really threaten me here, so I'm going to let it go through. It's only a cross chop. And I get off this Leaf Blade CMP tie, which is really good, because they probably want to switch out to catch this move. But they choose not to shield. So now they switch on to Snorlax, which isn't a horrible matchup, obviously, for me. The problem is that I'm already quite low in health, so can't really maintain switch here. But they let the close combat go through. So at this point, I probably could have won switch if I chose to shield, but I decided not to, let it go down. And I had a decision to make here. Do I want to come with Snorlax, get an energy lead, or do I want to come with Articuno? I figured if I came with Snorlax, they'd probably get to a superpower before I could farm down. So I decided to just come in with Articuno for that reason. And expecting the Machamp to come in here. And expecting it not to be running Rock Slide. But they had Melmetal, so at this point, there really isn't anything I do. And I hate that I threw energy here. Why would I throw energy? They're going to switch out. I need to save that energy. That is one of the things I'm most guilty of in this game. One of the mistakes I make most often. Throwing a charge move for absolutely zero reason, wasting energy. And it's not really going to make a difference in this game. Like, I'm going to lose regardless, just hard counter here. But it's something that I have to be more aware of in future battles. And here, I couldn't farm down. I really needed that farm down to have any chance to win this. Now I'm forced to shield the cross chop. We do have energy, so I have to bait with Body Slam, which I should be able to do. And now I'll catch the move onto Articuno. The problem is that after I do that, he could basically just farm me down, and at this point, there really isn't anything I could do. Rock Slide's going to come through. They leave enough energy here to farm me down. They're going to build up for Superpower, Body Slam. They're going to be over farming, of course. It really doesn't matter because they're going to win CMP tie even if I had the move ready, which I don't. So this game is basically a lock. Hard loss right here, but it is what it is. Can't win every game. And of course, a Shadow Machamp lead into Snorlax isn't the easiest thing to come back from. So do take a pretty heavy loss there. Let's move into the next battle. Avasiano here. In the next match, see if we can rebound from that tough loss. We see Blastoise here. So Blastoise is kind of a neutral lead. It's not the worst, but it should be. If we want to invest shields, we should be able to win this basically. So Blastoise is going to throw the Hydro Cannon here. I'm going to choose to let that go through. No point to shield yet. Go for the Body Slam here. And look at this lag. What is going on? Unbelievable. Did you see that? My health went down, so he was getting moves while I got none. His health stayed the same, only mine went down. That flips the match, because now I don't win the 1 shield anymore. And the only way I can win this is by probably going down 2 shields to 0. So really unfortunate, because at this point, I should be able to outpace him to the next Body Slam. But because of that lag and the free energy the opponent got, they're going to beat me here to the move, as you can see. And now I'm forced to burn a second shield if I want to keep Switch, which I really do want to keep. And here comes the Granbull. So I'm going to throw this Body Slam, then immediately switch out into the Articuno. And I'm hoping I get off this Ice Wind before they get to a move here. And we are able to do that. Let's see if they want to burn a shield or let it go down. And they do choose to burn a shield. So if this is a crunch, it won't KO. Close combat might KO after the debuff. It's only a crunch, so that's really good. And I should be able to farm down here before they are able to charm me down. Actually, no, looks like I wasn't able to, so I actually do hit the move here, just to ensure that I keep this alignment, which isn't really too important because the Blastoise pretty much has no health. But we're down 2 shields, now we're only down 1. Blastoise comes in, farms me down. I'm going to come in with the Snorlax, they switch on to Meganium, and I'm going to throw this Body Slam here because this is actually the move that's going to be doing the most damage here compared to Leaf Blade. So I don't want to throw close combats in the game, obviously, because I don't want to debuff myself. This is a very good matchup for Virizion here, so no point to debuff, just go straight Leaf Blade. They choose to not shield that, and at this point Frenzy Plant isn't going to do anything. Earthquake isn't going to do anything, and we should be in a very good position. The only way I could pretty much throw this game here would be if the opponent manages to catch my next Leaf Blade onto their Blastoise, which is a possibility, so I have to be aware of that. So I'm building up, and they actually switch out a bit earlier than I got to the move, which allows me to farm down with Quick Attack. They come back in, gonna go for the overkill here with the close combat, just cement this game, and we take the win there. So next matchup going up against MixmasterRick. So dropping the mixtape, dropping the hot beats, dropping the Articuno on my Snorlax. This is a bad lead, of course, a match that I like seeing myself very often with Articuno, but in this case it is Snorlax. And the thing about this match actually is that, and most Articuno matches in particular, is that they win a lot of matches, but it often requires shielding early. So in this situation, when the opponent's actually choosing not to shield, gives me the idea that if I want to burn one of my own shields, I might be able to take Switch here. And I think keeping Switch with this team is pretty important. So I'm going to outpace it to the Body Slam here. And I would expect the shield here, but they actually choose to let it go down. So we do take the lead. Shadow Machamp comes in. And of course, neither of my 2 Pokemon are great against this, but Virizion does have a better matchup. So I'm going to go for the Leaf Blade. They make a great sack onto the Giratina to catch this move. Fortunately for me, I do have Articuno, which doesn't exactly wall Giratina Origin, but it has a very good matchup, of course, and I don't necessarily have to spend any shields to win this. So we're going to take the Shadow Ball here, totally fine. Get off this Icy Wind here, which I'm not really expecting them to shield, but we'll see what happens. They choose to let that go through. I get an extra Ice Shard in, and now the Machamp's going to come in. So at this point, I decide to shield here because I want to debuff this Machamp, want to make sure I get off this Icy Wind so that the matchup with the Virizion in the back is a lot easier. So you can see I do shield there, get off this Icy Wind, gets their own shield in return, so it's a win-win for me. And they can't farm down or else I'll get to another Icy Wind. So at this point I choose to actually let this go down. I could have chose to shield up, but I didn't want to get farmed down after. So here comes the Virizion now. I'm going to tank this first move, expecting it to be a cross chop, see how much it does. And at this point, I was thinking I could probably farm down, but it's getting very close. And I wasn't sure. It looks like I probably could win, but I got to back Leaf Blades at this point, so I figured it was just safe to just go for the two of them and win this game after burning the shield. So we are going to take this game here, and we are at 2-1, I believe, in this next set. So not looking too bad here. Next match going up against ST24. And revealing Snorlax into Giratina Altered. So an amazing lead and something like to see. I mean, it's not even amazing. It's a great lead, obviously, like to see it. But it's not like the most dominant matchup like it is versus Giratina Origin. Dragon Claw does still add up. And we don't have any moves doing any threatening damage, really, in terms of charge move. So Body Slam is pretty much the only answer here. You can see it just tickles the Giratina. Switch out into Gyarados here. So I'm going to bring in the Articuno after farming a little bit extra. Maybe a little bit late on the switch, should have probably been a bit sooner. And I'm going to let this first move go through, hoping it's an Aqua Tail, but they do go for the crunch. So this is still winnable, obviously, for Articuno, but at this point now I will have to use a shield, and I'll probably have to lose or be down a shield in order to maintain switch here. So next move going to come up. They're probably going to bait with Aqua Tail at this point after landing the crunch, which they do, and I'm going to have this Icy Wind. This is probably going to get their shield. This is pretty much guaranteed for me to win as long as I shield again, because I'm not going to be able to farm down before they get to a move. And you can see they do reach that crunch. So that's a situation there where if I switched in earlier, that would not have happened. But they do come in with Giratina here. This will not KO, and I'll be able to hit this Icy Wind with a sliver of health, which is always nice. And let's see if they're going to burn their shield here. They do not. So I'm going to come back in with the Snorlax here. Throw the Body Slam immediately. Was hoping this would KO, but obviously it's not going to. It still has too much health. And they're going to throw their energy. Let's see if they switch out after this or choose to stay in. I'd imagine they switch out. Don't want to get licked down here. And they bring... Or no, they do get licked down. Or what happened here? Yeah, they got licked down. Oh, their Gyarados is still alive. That's why it's showing too. They swapped out. And here comes Swampert. So you love to see it. Virizion is going to come in here, and it is going to have an amazing time. We're down a shield here, but it really doesn't matter because this is the definition of a wall, a beautiful green wall right here, taking those Hydro Cannons like it's nothing. Do you ever see Hydro Cannon do such little damage? It's amazing. This thing is a tank, and we get the last shield there. Of course, they could sack here, so we have to be a little bit careful. Could take a couple more Hydro Cannons still, but it's getting a little risky here. They go for Earthquake, which doesn't do more than Hydro Cannon, I don't think. So probably better to just go straight Hydro Cannon here, but we do get off this Leaf Blade before they can sack, which is a relief. Knock that out, and the Gyarados goes down at the end. So we're 3-1, heading into the last match of this video against yamanoviva here. And we're going to be seeing Snorlax into another Giratina Altered, so another great lead here. Can we finish off this set strong? They bring in a Scizor. And I was caught off guard here, especially because it's running Fury Cutter. So I didn't actually know what to do here. I know Fury Cutter is better for Articuno, but if it has Iron Head, it's still losing matchup. And I wasn't sure if Fury Cutter was good for Virizion here. I know Bullet Punch would be really good, but I wasn't sure about Fury Cutter. In hindsight, it's still a good matchup, so I should have brought in the Virizion here, but it is what it is. We stay in. I know I can maintain switch with Snorlax anyways, but it's going to come at the cost of a shield. So it doesn't look like I can farm down here, so I decide to throw the Body Slam. And this is going to knock out the Scizor. And let's see if they come back in with Giratina. They do. So at this point, we're going to need a Shadow Claw or a Dragon Claw here. And I was thinking maybe I won't throw energy and just overfarm a lot in the hopes that they think I have a nuke and throw energy again. Because I'd rather they have 0 energy heading into this next match. And it looks like that's what they did. So I bring in the Articuno now, and I'm hoping whatever they have in the back is weak to Virizion. Obviously something like Swampert, for example, would be really good. But look at this, they have Ancient Power. This is one of those maniac players like J Frost, always running that Ancient Power on his Giratina. And that's really bad for Articuno, of course. But I know this is still a winnable matchup even with Ancient Power. I'm just hoping that, like, they're giving me the impression that they're weak to Articuno in the back by staying in here. But we're going to see what it is. Could be a Togekiss, which would be horrible for me. And it's actually an Escavalier, which is also really bad. And not actually sure why I didn't switch out. Maybe they thought that I had a Giratina in the back or something. So fortunate for them, it is a Virizion here, and they're going to be able to win this. Basically, I need to land 2 close combats or a Leaf Blade plus a close combat, but they have a shield. So they get a no shield there too, which is very impressive. Obviously, it makes sense to no shield because close combat wouldn't KO anyways. So it makes sense for them not to shield that. Very well played on their part. And they are going to take this game and ruin the party here. We go 3-2 in that set. Overall, a pretty solid performance, and Virizion did perform a lot better than I had hoped it will. So pretty impressed with the team overall. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.